Hey, this is Andrew Brown, and welcome to the AWS Cloud Project Bootcamp. We have another update video to get you up to speed on what's been happening in the last week. We are approaching week 2, technically week 3, because our numbering system starts at 0. Probably in the future, I'll probably start at 1 because it's less confusing. Lesson learned. But anyway, week 2 is coming up, and this is where we're going to feel the high watermark of difficulty in the course. Week 0 was easy. Week 1 was kind of difficult, and week 2 is going to be hard, because this is where we start integrating cloud services, and you start to really experience what it's like being a cloud engineer and troubleshooting cloud services where you aren't directly able to debug the same way as you would application code. So this is going to be a real test for you to see if cloud engineering is something that you really want to do. If you get past this week, that is a good indicator that you will be okay to get through the entire bootcamp. So just so you know that. I probably mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again, probably in the office hours. But I wanted to tell you that 10,000 people registered, only 1,000 so far, more than 1,000, but only 1,000 have submitted their homework. So I want to just tell you that don't worry about obsessing about the grade and getting it perfect. You already are technically in the 10%, because if you've stuck to this point and you submitted your work, you're ahead of a lot of other folks. You know, I knew going in that this is going to happen, and I know as we go, the numbers will dwindle because it is an extremely hard challenge to do. So stick with it and just set on finishing the bootcamp, and that will be a huge achievement. So, you know, if you made it to this point, congratulations, keep going. Adrian, who is one of our sponsors, has released a new free course. It's called Technical Fundamentals, and it covers a few different things about technical fundamentals, specifically around IT, as I can see here. So we have things about the OSI layer, some things about networking, security, containers, data formats. It's not developer focused, it's more general IT. And so this could be a good addition to your study materials. We don't really go too heavy in networking in this bootcamp. It's something that you can often delay while working in cloud, depending on your role. But you know, if you want to round out your skills and you're not familiar with these things, maybe consider doing that if you have the time. We'll go up here for a moment here. So I want you to know that there are obstacles in the instructional content, and it's by design. If you go over here, you've been seeing me show you this stuff, and if you were to copy and paste this and not follow the video instructional content, you're going to find that it does not work because some things are janked. Janked as in maybe a value's been changed by one part, maybe a piece of code is missing. I've been doing this since week 0. If you aren't sure what did I do on week 0, well, that had to do with the AWS CLI being in the knit step. But you can see that when I'm doing it in the video, I correct these things, and it's able for me to tell who is actually doing the videos, who is working through the problems. So just consider that. Okay? At the end of the day, the whole point of the bootcamp is to get you those troubleshooting skills, those researching, debugging skills. That's the most valuable thing that I can help you learn and get through this bootcamp. So that is going to be a main theme for this bootcamp going through all the way to the end. Our first cloud career session is coming up here with Open Up in the Cloud. We have 4 of them throughout the bootcamp. These are live streamed at Open Up on the Cloud. They will get Open Up on the Cloud. Open Up the Cloud. And they're live streamed on Fridays. Okay. And they're not every Friday. They're just very specific Fridays. And I have to update the student portal to have their own place because they have their own unique assignments. These should get inserted into the official playlist at some point. It's just because they are in the live stream format. It's not easy for me to queue them in until they've ended and then can be slotted in. If you cannot show up on a Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern for these, they should be pre-recorded so you can catch up. The timing for these assignments are absolutely different for all the weekly assignments. These ones, get them in when you can get them in, okay? I want to point out something that is all boot campers should check, because if you want to get graded, you have to have this filled in. If I do not see it filled in, it will result in a 0 grade. If I don't see it for a second week, you'll be dropped from the boot camp. And the thing I'm talking about is in your profile, and it's setting the project repository. So if your project repository is not set and not set correctly, I cannot click through and look at your homework. I cannot verify it. I cannot grade it. I cannot provide feedback. And if I don't see it multiple times, I'm going to assume that you're not active, or you're not following these instructions, and I just need to see that stuff in. So I've given an example right down here. This is the format I'm expecting. I'm expecting to see it like this. It has to be named like this. It can't have a .git on the end. It has to be like this. And we made a video, so there's no reason not to see this in this format. I had a video for you to watch exactly how I did it. I emphasized it on there. I've said this multiple times. So this is your last warning to get it up to date. Run in here, make sure it's set. The way you know is you go to the dashboard, you scroll on down, and it will be in here. Okay? So just do that, because I don't want people to miss out because they overlook that. But because of the volume of folks that I have to grade, it is what it is. So, be aware of that. So yeah, I hope everyone is keeping up with the bootcamp very well. I've seen some extremely impressive work. I've already begun grading. I'm hoping to get grading out as soon as possible. There is no timeline for when it's done, but it will get to you when it gets to you. One thing I noticed is that a lot of boot campers were getting stressed out about what grade they would get, because I made a grading video about what would be graded based on their homework summary as an indicator. And so, I think that what I've learned is that, some folks take the grade way more seriously than I thought they would. And it's undermining their what they need to do in this bootcamp, which is not obsess about the grade, but get the project done and focus on good communication. And so I will grade each week, but I'm not going to show it to you until the end of the bootcamp. I will provide feedback, because it doesn't matter if you are a 3 or a 4. It does not matter if you are a 0 or a 1. What matters is that you do a good job. And there are boot campers out there that are extremely supportive and helping everybody and are demonstrating their technical skills. And I can see it in the Discord. I can see it externally outside the project. And they can make Red Squad because of it. And they could score all 2s in their submissions. There are folks that can score all 4s in their weekly submissions, and they will never make Red Squad because there is a communication or documentation deficit. And it wouldn't be responsible. It wouldn't be a good judgment of me to give them that Red Squad position for that. And you'll see me provide feedback that may be something like that. It might be like, okay, all the stuff was great, but you need to work on your communication. I'm looking at what you do in the Discord. I'm going through and looking at your social media profiles. I'm tying all that information together. I'm making notes. I'm doing tagging. Okay. There is a system to grading, but it is at my discretion, and it's in the grading rubric for that, to decide how I want to place people. Because at the end of the day, it's not. There is no job where you say, these are my grades, hire me. It's really about a holistic look at the person, how they fit at a company. And so that is the approach that I'm taking to grading. Look forward to that. And just try not to stress out about the grade too much, and just try to get to the end and do your best. And keep that attitude positive, and that will do you wonders, okay? So hopefully that gives you a good scope of things that are going on here, and I will see you in class soon.